Happy Wednesday morning, everybody. I feel like it's like every day is 2 full days. I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing a lot. I hope everybody's having a good day, whatever day this happens to be. If you are watching this on replay, and let me make sure that I have my pinned comment in here. As y'all are checking in, shout yourselves out in the comment section. Tell me your name and location as y'all coming in. I'm gonna give everybody a minute or two to check in. Then we're gonna get right into this. Go ahead and pin my comment there. Give everybody a moment to get in. So as y'all coming in, shout yourselves out in the comment section, name and location. And then we'll get to it. Today we are talking, you see the topic right there. Hope everybody's had a great week so far. Great start to your morning or after it's nighttime, depending on where you happen to be checking in from. Again, I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get in here, and y'all see while I'm waiting for everybody to come in. This is my newest book called The Third Day. This is coming out on the third day, about 2 weeks from now, August 3rd. You can get the book for free. All you do is cover the shipping. This is the hardback. We got paperback, and we also have the Work on Your Game System Manual. You can get this one as well. All you do is check the little box when you claim your free copy of this book. And we're gonna give everybody a minute to come in here, then we're gonna get started. What's been happening this week? I don't know. When I start these lives, it's quiet at the beginning, then people start coming in when I get to the end of the live. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the time of day. Maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Instagram. They just want to see if I'm serious. They start sending people when it gets later in the live. So I'm gonna get started one way or another in 10 seconds. It is 10:08. We're gonna see if I go about 30 minutes today. We might go a little bit longer, we'll see. So for those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional athlete, author of 29 books. This book number 28 I just showed you is the Work on Your Game System Manual. I write these books, and I got a daily podcast, comes out every day. I've done 4 TED Talks, published more content to the internet over the last 16 years than anybody on this planet, probably. All right, there we go. And I created this whole brand, this whole framework, this philosophy, this business called Work on Your Game. It's all about taking the mental tools to help you succeed in the sports world and playing whatever sport at the professional level, the top 1%, and using those same tools in the business world and in everyday life. Our framework is based on 4 principles: discipline, confidence, mental toughness, and personal initiative. And we get that out there through things like live streams, podcasts, books, speaking, coaching, training, mastermind groups, writing, all kinds of things that we do. Writing, whether it be books, writing articles, emails, things like that. So today we're going to be talking about 6 future-proof skills. What's going on, my man Will Lane? How you doing? Arbin, what's going on? I say you've been tutoring kids at your job. That's what's up. Tomorrow is the last day to get your ticket to Work on Your Game Live. That event is down here in Miami on August 25th. Tomorrow's the last day to get your ticket to the event. Tomorrow's July 15th. That's the last day to get a ticket. The link is right there at workonyourgame.live. So today we're going to talk about 6 future-proof skills. These are skills that already exist today. These are not brand new skills. These are skills that already exist, but these are skills that if you have them, you should keep working on them and keep using them, because these skills will never go out of style. They will never get taken away by an AI. They'll never get taken away by a computer chip or by any type of system or program. These will always be necessary from human beings, and any human that has any of these skills that I'm about to go over, there will always be a place for you somewhere in the marketplace. And that marketplace can be the marketplace of ideas, marketplace in business, making money, getting a job, starting a business, helping other people. As long as you can do something that can help other people, you'll be able to make money, and you'll be able to create value, and you will be useful to other people, and you'll be welcome in some room somewhere in the world. So these are 6 future-proof skills that we're going to go over today. So I'm going to go right into these skills, and anybody who is listening, or if you come in the middle, or they won't know because they're not here, but anybody who comes in the middle, if you leave a comment or question about anything that I say, I will address all the comments at the end of this live stream. So I'll address everything at the end, but I'm going to go over all 6. I'm going to explain all 6. And then I'm going to recap the 6, and then I'll address whatever questions, if there are any questions at the end of this live. Everybody got it? Good. So let's get right into it. Number 1, we're talking 6 future-proof skills. The skill of selling. Sales is a skill that will never, ever, ever go out of style. And understand that sales does not necessarily mean you have a book and you tell people this book costs $30, give me $30, I'll give you the book. That's one way of selling, but sales is much bigger than that. Sales is just your ability to take an idea, a product, a service, anything, and you just explain the benefits. You explain the virtues of that thing, whatever it is you're trying to get across, and then get other people to feel the same way that you feel about it. As they say, sales is an exchange of emotion. So if I can get you, if I believe that Miami is the best place to live in America, and maybe you don't think that way, maybe you never thought about it. If I can get you to believe the same thing, I can get you to feel the same thing that I feel about living in Miami as the best place, that's sales. If I can get you to agree, and then maybe you start looking at places in Miami, maybe move here, I have sold you on the idea. So sales doesn't necessarily mean we had to exchange money. Sales just means an exchange of beliefs. Sales is an exchange of feelings, an exchange of emotion. So if I can get you to feel the same thing that I'm feeling, then you'll probably take the action on your own. I don't even have to get you to do it. So I can get you to feel like any of you ever watch a commercial on TV, and let's say you're hungry, you haven't eaten in a couple hours, and then you see a commercial on TV for a hamburger and fries, and you're looking at that commercial like, damn, the hamburger and fries looks good. I've sold you on the idea, or at least the commercial has sold you on the idea that maybe you need to go get yourself something to eat. Maybe you don't even go get it from that place, but it sold you on the concept that, hey, I'm hungry, I need to go eat something. So it's programming your mind. So that's sales. So sales is not just, don't put sales in a box of it has to be, I have a product or something that I give you and then you give me money back. That's one way of selling, but there are many ways of selling. Getting somebody to just listen to you is sales. Getting someone to follow you on social media is sales. Getting a person to go out on a date with you or give you their phone number or exchange email addresses with you, all of those things are sales, because you have to get them to feel something. Usually we have to have some type of inclination within ourselves to take an action. So by the time we take an action on something, we already had the thought or the feeling or the energy first. That happens, we get the thought, the feeling, the energy, then we go do the thing. And usually it happens so quickly that we can't even separate them. You get the thought, damn, I want something to eat, then you go get something to eat. It's not like it happens and then it takes 3 weeks for you to go do it. So sometimes it happens immediately. So that is sales. And if you have the ability to sell, you have the ability to persuade and influence other people, including yourself, you will always be able to create value in the marketplace. That's really what this is about, is creating value in the marketplace. As long as you can influence and persuade, whether that's through your actions, through your words, or a combination of both, you will always be able to create value out there in the world, and you will always have a place. You'll always be able to get a job. You'll always be able to make friends. You'll always be able to sell your products and services, make enough money to buy yourself lunch, pay for your food, clothing, shelter, pay the bills. That's because of your ability to sell. Now, anybody who leaves a comment, I will address all the comments and questions at the end. So if anybody has one, I will address them all at the end. So number one, sales. This is a future-proof skill. And understanding if you do not develop the skill of sales, this is one that is maybe different from all these other ones, is that if you can't sell, then you're going to have a lot of trouble in the future. This is one of those skills that is future-proof, is great to have, but this one is kind of like a must-have. If you don't have the ability to sell, you're going to have trouble, because you're not going to be able to, you can't even get a job if you can't sell. Like, when you go to a job interview, you are selling yourself. When you try to go on a date and get a significant other, or even get a mate, or even get just a friend for the summer, if you can't sell, then you're not going to be able to get that. So sales is kind of a requirement. This is not something this is not a luxury. It's not something that's nice to have. This is something that you need to have, is your ability to sell. Number two, we are talking the 6 future-proof skills. This is not an all-inclusive list. There can be others. Number 2 is the skill of communication. What does communication mean? It goes hand in hand with sales. You can't sell anything if you can't communicate. And communication doesn't have to be verbal, like doing a live stream on your phone. Communication can be written. If you can write, that is communication. If you can, even communicating through body language. There are some people who communicate, they're deaf. They communicate through sign language. That's communication. Being able to get your point across one way or another is the skill of communication. If you can't communicate, it's impossible for you to sell. So these 2 skills actually go together. Every good salesperson is a strong communicator. And strong communication does not necessarily mean, and also with sales, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be this verbose person who has like the most eloquent language and you know all these big words and you can talk circles around people and you can stand in front of a room of 1,000 people and give a beautiful speech and get a standing ovation. It's good if you have that ability, but you don't have to be that person to be a good communicator or to be a good salesperson. You just need to be able to get whatever is in your mind, whatever you're thinking, and be able to transfer that to another person. That's the skill of communication. Whatever you're thinking, get somebody else to understand it. That's the communication skill. Now, they might not agree. That's the sales is when you can get them to agree. Communication is when you can just make sure that they understand it. Somebody can understand exactly what you're saying and completely disagree. They could disagree 100% with everything that you said, but they know what you said. They know exactly where you stand and where you're at. That's your skill of communication. And this is just your ability to express yourself. And in this world that we're in right now, and I could have touched on this in point number 1 as well, that as we move into this economy, this world of everybody's going to have to kind of eat what they kill in some sense. Like right now, maybe some of you who's listening to this right now, and plenty of people in the world have positions where they're on like a salary, and like a salary type of work, where you show up, you work this number of hours or this agreed upon number of hours, and you make this much money. That is slowly going away from every industry in the world. That's going to go away. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you pick up trash for a living, if you are a school teacher, if you're a construction worker, all of this stuff is going to go away. Is that everybody is going to be paid basically, they might not call it this, but it's basically going to be on commission, meaning you get paid based on what you produce. If you're not producing anything, then you're not going to get paid. If you're a construction worker, you're going to get paid based on the amount of construction work you get done that day. If you're a teacher, you're going to get paid based on how well you teach the students and how well those students perform on whatever testing proves that they're actually learning from you. Nobody's going to be getting paid. And this might not even be in our lifetimes. We might all be dead and gone by the time this happens, but this is going to happen, that nobody is going to get paid just because you showed up to work. You're going to have to create something, and that's the skill of sales. That's the reason I'm bringing this up. It's not communication, but it's also sales. And the employers, any of you who's an entrepreneur or you plan on being one, you're going to have to communicate this to the people who work for you, because they're going to need to understand they don't get paid just because they work 40 hours. They get paid because, all right, show me the results that you produced in these 40 hours. I'm paying you based on that. So people who can produce more than average, they actually make more money than if they were on salary. And people who underperform, they make less money, simply because everybody's going to be getting paid based on the way that they actually deliver at their work on a consistent basis. So number 2 is communication. Number 1 is sales. Number 2, communication. Number 3, we are talking today 6 future-proof skills that you're going to need moving forward. Number 3 is your ability to make people feel good. Now, this was one that you're probably not going to hear too many people talk about when they talk about skills that you're going to need for the future. You're going to hear people talk about selling and communication and maybe stuff like coding and anything technology-wise. This one is a future-proof skill, though, your ability to make people feel good. You think about it. Think about the people in your life who make you feel good, that when you see their number on a caller ID or you see them text you or you know you're about to hang with them, you actually start to feel better before you even get around that person because you just enjoy their company. Any type of person that you enjoy their company, you enjoy listening to them, you enjoy being around them, that is valuable. That's worth something. And that's a skill that can be traded on. And if you have the ability to make people feel good, there'll always be a place for you. And this is like, even if you're thinking about playing sports, if you're a basketball player and you're the type of player that any team you get on, people like you being on the team, that's probably because there's something that you bring to the table that helps that team be better. Maybe you're a good defensive player, you're a good passer, or you're just a team player. You don't care if you score any points, but you play hard, you set screens, you grab rebounds, you play defense. Everybody likes playing with a player like that. I played basketball, so any player who plays like that, I like them because I get tired of playing with players who everybody's trying to score all the points. So like everybody can't be Kobe on every basketball team. So any kind of person in life, this could be in basketball or anywhere else, if you have the ability to make other people feel good just by your presence, you have value and people will want you to be around. So if you really think about it, you just look at yourself in your own life. We as humans, we will go to great lengths to do things that make us feel good. And sometimes we'll do things that don't even help us just because it makes us feel good. Like it might not help you to not go to the gym for a week, but it feels good to not go to the gym because then you can stay asleep and not get out of bed, and we'll do it. It might not help you to eat a donut, but you'll go and drive across the neighborhood to the donut shop and pay for the donuts with money that you shouldn't even be spending to get the donuts. Why? Because the donuts make you feel good. And listen, donut business is a pretty good business as far as I can tell. There's donut shops here that all they sell is donuts. And we know donuts are not good for us, but people buy them. Why? Because it feels good. Alcohol feels good. Smoking cigarettes feels good. Why do people do it even though it's not helping us? Because it feels good. People will pay to feel good even if the thing that we are paying for and the thing that we are doing is not helping us in the long run. We will do it in the short term because it feels good. And this just goes to a bigger discussion on discipline and investments and long-term benefits and costs for human beings. But this is just the complexity of being human, is that sometimes all of us, we do things that we know are not good for us, but we enjoy them in the moment. We'll do them anyway, even though we know we got to pay for it in the long run. But if you can make people feel good, people will do it. And this is, again, why we have things like the fast food industry. We got people who sell ice cream and cake and donuts and sell cigarettes and alcohol. Again, all things that don't help us in the long run and actually make us die faster, but we pay a whole lot of money for them. There's a big industry because people will do anything to feel good. So if you can make people feel good, you will always have an opportunity in your life. And outside of just on a practical level, I'm talking about practical things like things that we put in our bodies, but even just things that we do to just make ourselves feel good, like rationalization and telling ourselves stories and lying to ourselves about things that we know. I know I was supposed to do that work today, but I didn't do it. But then I just make up a story to make myself feel good about not doing it. That makes me feel good, right? It's some bullshit that I'm telling myself, but it makes me feel good. And I just pacify myself with that. If you could be the person that makes people feel okay with their own bullshit, that is valuable. And people will want you around because you will give people an excuse to not do what they needed to do. People will pay for this. And if all of you understand this, if you really think about it, sometimes you do it to yourself. Sometimes you do it to other people. And if you look around and you start paying attention in life, you will notice that people do this all the time, is make other people feel good about the things that they didn't do or the things that they did do that's actually not helping them. Any of you who knows anything about sales, you know that when you're selling a product or a service, one of the biggest challenges that people have is they might say to themselves, well, I did that before and it didn't work. Like if somebody works in the nutrition industry and they're trying to sell like a weight loss product. Now, anybody who's buying a weight loss product, this is probably not the first time they try to buy a weight loss product or the first time they try to get into a fitness program. So the biggest challenge that a customer has is, damn, I tried to buy this before, or I bought it before and I didn't use it, or it didn't work, or I didn't lose any weight. So if you're the salesperson, you know that they're thinking that. So how do you get them to buy your product since the last 10 products they bought, they didn't use it or they didn't follow through? Why would they buy yours? All they're going to do is not follow through again. Your job is to let them know, hey, it's not your fault that you didn't follow through in the past. It's not your fault that you didn't show up to the gym. It's not your fault that you bought a $800 program and you only used it for 2 weeks, then you stopped using it. Even though you know that's bullshit. You know you're lying. You know that they should have used the program. If they would have just followed through and had some damn discipline, they wouldn't be looking for a weight loss product. But you tell them the opposite just so they can buy your thing. And people do this in sales all the time. We do this in marketing and in copywriting all the time. Your ability to make people feel good is worth money, no matter how you choose to use it. You can use it in a positive way. You can use it in I wouldn't even say as a negative way, but in a rationalization type of way. But again, all of us as humans, all of us are guilty of this. We do it to other people and we do it to ourselves every single day. And we want other people to do it to us. Number 4, today's topic, we are talking 6 future-proof skills. Number 4 is your ability to entertainment. You think about it. Who's a late night TV show host? Jimmy Fallon, Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, I think he retired, Letterman. No, those guys are older, but any of those guys who do late night TV shows, do you know that those guys make more money in 1 year than like all the teachers in the state of Florida or the state of New York or the state of California all put together? How does Conan O'Brien make more money than all the teachers in the entire school district? Why is that? It's because, why does somebody like Will Smith, a movie star, why does he make more money for doing one movie than all the people who work in government, or all the people, or at least by their salaries, and all the people who work in education make put together? Why do they make more money? It's because people, us, we will pay more money for entertainment than we'll pay for anything else. We pay more money for entertainment than we pay for education. We are more excited about going to the movies and seeing a new movie that came out than we are about paying our taxes, or most of the time about going to the polls and voting for whoever's running for some political office. We will pay a ton of money for entertainment. Entertainment is a huge industry. I mean, look at where we're at right now. Instagram is entertainment. Social media is entertainment. Even though some of us use it for business, meaning like when we're publishing and producing, and right now this is kind of part of my business. I'm making this video and letting you know what I'm about. I'm gonna take this video, I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and yeah, this is part of my business, but we use it for entertainment. I get on social media and I see what other people got going on. I look at the pictures. I get on Twitter and I see what's happening. I look at YouTube and I watch the videos. All that is entertainment, Netflix, entertainment. We spend a ton of money on entertainment every single year. If you looked at it, any of you who tracks how much money that you spend to the dollar, look how much money you spend on entertainment, like Netflix, movies, TV shows, travel, some kind of travel experience, going to some type of event, how much time you spend on social media apps. Your phone will tell you that, the tracking apps. And then look how much money you spend on education. How much money do you spend on mastermind groups, on coaching, on going to educational events? How much money do you spend on books? How much money you spend on courses? Look how much money you spend on entertainment versus how much you spend on education. Most people, maybe not you specifically, but most people spend way more money on entertainment than we spend on education. And I'm not saying that as an indictment of people. I could, but that's not the conversation here today. The point is, entertainment is a huge industry. People will spend more money to entertain themselves than they will spend for pretty much anything else. People spend more money on entertainment than they even spend on their own health. All right, people don't even have a membership to the gym, don't even work out, but they got Netflix, they got Hulu, they got all the social media apps, they got YouTube Red. They will pay extra for all the entertainment, but they don't even pay to take care of their own health until it's an emergency. Is this true or is this not true? People do this every single day, all day. So if you have the ability to entertain people, the ability to give people something to divert them from more serious things in life, then people are willing to pay for it. And the other part of this, when I talk about entertainment, why this is valuable is your ability to just put on a show. I'm not talking about on the business side, just your ability to put on a show and just give people something to look at or listen to or watch. That's valuable because people are willing to invest in it. People will give you their time if you can entertain them. You can make people laugh. If you can tell people something that pulls on their emotional strings, you can just give people something that they can do other than the work they're supposed to be doing. They'll pay attention to it. Why? Because it's more fun. It's more fun to be entertained than it is to do work. All right, work is hard. That's why it's called hard work. And if you can entertain people and divert them from their work, they will give you their time. And time leads to money. If you don't have somebody's time, you can't ever get their money. So work on your ability to entertain people is worth money. Number 5. We're talking 6 future-proof skills. Number 5 is your ability to teach. What does teaching mean? It goes hand in hand with communication. And if you're a good teacher, you probably have the tools to be a good salesperson. Just because you're a good teacher doesn't mean you can sell. But if you are a good teacher, you have what you need to be a good salesperson. If you're a good teacher, you learn how to sell, then you can definitely make money because you can teach people things. Teaching is your ability to help people understand the same thing that you understand. It goes hand in hand with communication. There's no good teacher who is a poor communicator. That's impossible. All right, to be a good teacher, you have to be good at communication. You got to be able to express yourself and articulate and make sure that people understand exactly what you're saying, how you're saying it, why you're saying it, where you're coming from. That's the ability to teach. And if you look around in the thought leadership world, like people who write books or do speeches or they do any type of coaching or they run a mastermind program or mentoring, any of those things, what is that? All of it's the same thing. It's teaching. Teaching people how to do things, teaching people new knowledge, teaching people how to apply the knowledge that they have. That is all under the umbrella of teaching. And any of you who's ever bought an online course or you sold a course or you tried to teach a course or you went to an event that somebody was teaching something, like I'm doing Work on Your Game Live. At that event, I'm going to be teaching. My ability to teach is I'm trading on my ability to teach at that event and my ability to communicate to get you to know about it and my ability to sell to get you to get a ticket. So all of these are going together and my ability to entertain, because if it's boring, even though it's good information, you might not remember anything. So all of these things work together. So teaching is an ability to help people understand what you have in your mind. Now they have it in their mind. And number 6, last one, we are talking future-proof skills, 6 future-proof skills, the skill of discipline. Now, why would I put discipline in this list? It doesn't quite go in lockstep with everything else that I talked about. The reason why discipline matters moving forward as a skill is because we have so many options now. If you think, those of you who are old enough, you think just 20 years ago, how many options did we have on a day-to-day basis? If it was this time of day, it's 10:30 a.m. Eastern on a Wednesday, what could I be doing right now 20 years ago? Maybe I could be on a computer a little bit, but it ain't like it was that many. It's not like that. It was that many things to do on a computer 20 years ago. At least not on the internet. I could do things on a computer, but not on the internet. There were no smartphones, so I had a phone maybe where I could make phone calls and text, but I wasn't even paying that much attention to it because it wasn't anything to do on the phone. I would have to, maybe I could be reading a book. Maybe I could be doing something on the computer. I'd probably be at work, maybe outside doing something. These days, we can still do all those things, but now we have all of these other options because it is one little device that fits in our pocket, the smartphone. And basically, you can spend your whole day on your smartphone giving your attention to something on that phone and not do anything else, and it could take up your entire day. So because we have all these options and all these different things that we could do that could draw our attention to this thing, that thing, and the third, the skill of discipline allows you to focus on one thing to the exclusion of other things so that you can actually become good at it. See, if you're going to become good at entertainment or good at teaching or good at communication or good at sales, you can't be checking your Instagram every 5 minutes. You can't be looking at your Facebook feed and arguing with people in the comments. You can't be going on Twitter and wondering what the trending topic is. You can't be going down a rabbit hole watching YouTube videos. You can't be doing that and become great at anything, because to become great at something, you need the discipline to focus on it for a long enough period of time to actually get good at it. Everybody understand that? So if your attention keeps getting diverted and you can't focus, you don't have the discipline to get focused, you can't become good at anything. You can't utilize any of these other skills. That's why discipline matters so much, because moving forward, understand something, smartphones ain't going away. Social media is not going away. All these apps, they're just going to get bigger and they're going to get smarter. They're going to get better at diverting your attention and taking your focus away from what you're supposed to be doing and getting it on them. All right, TikTok, all these apps, all they do all day, in case y'all didn't know, they have people who work there. Their full-time job is to figure out how to get you to spend more time on the app. That's it. There are people who work at Instagram. They're at work right now. They might be listening to me right now, wondering, how do we get more people to stay on Instagram all day? How do we get people to stay on TikTok all day? How do we get people to stay on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook all day? That's all they do. That's their full-time job, is to get you to give as much time as possible to your phone, instead of learning how to sell, instead of learning how to teach, instead of educating yourself, instead of doing what you need to do to actually advance in life. They're competing against that to try to take your time away from you. And this is their whole business model. And I'm not mad at it. Listen, I use these apps. So Instagram, don't get mad at me for saying this, but this is what they do. This is their full-time business. They want your time, and everything else in life wants your time. The skill of discipline will allow you to stay focused on the thing that you need to do, to the exclusion of these other things that may become distractions based on how you're using them or how you're not using them. So all that said, I'm gonna recap these 6 points. If you have a question or comment about anything that I said, post in the comments right now. 6 skills that you need for the future. Future-proof skills. These will always be useful no matter what happens. Number 1, your ability to sell. Getting your idea into another person's mind through emotion. Get an exchange of emotion, that's sales. Number 2, communication. Can you get your point across to another person? Also, listening is a part of communication. Communication is not just talking, it's also your ability to listen and understand what somebody else is saying. Number 3, making people feel good. We will go great lengths to feel good, even if we're doing something that's not helping us. We will do things to make us feel good. We go eat donuts. Nobody thinks donuts are healthy, but we eat donuts. Why? Because it feels good. Number 4, entertainment. We pay more money for entertainment than we pay for education. How much money do you spend going to the movies or going to Disney World? How much money do you spend on books? Exactly. We spend more on entertainment than we spend on our own education. I'm not indicting anybody for it, but just understanding this. If you get good at entertainment, you can make a lot of money. Then you better spend your money on education so you can get smarter. Number 5, teaching. Helping people understand the same thing that you understand. When people can understand what you know, you can sell it. That's what we call a course or coaching or mentoring. Or when people do any kind of online programs or events, they are teaching. They're giving you their knowledge. Now you have it. Now you can go use it. And number 6, discipline. Because there are so many different things we could be focusing our time on these days, the skill of discipline is what's going to separate the winners from the losers, because undisciplined people are not going to be able to have focus for long enough to actually do anything for an extended period of time to where they can get good at it. To get good at anything, you need an extended period of focus. And if you can't stay focused because you have no discipline and your phone is trying to get you to distract you with all the notifications, then you can never become great at anything. So all that being said, I'm going to see if we got any comments. I think I saw a comment or two come through here. My event, Work on Your Game Live. You see it right there. Tomorrow is the last day to get your ticket to that event. That is workonyourgame.live. It's a live event I'm doing in Miami. It's a full day, full day event here in Miami. I'm teaching 100% of it. I'm giving you all my best personal growth, personal development material. If you like what you just heard on this live, imagine what I do in an entire day when I'm giving you all my best stuff. And I guarantee you're going to leave there with a full personal and professional development plan for what you're going to do for and with yourself moving forward. That is, tomorrow is the last day to get a ticket. The event is in August, but tomorrow's the last day to get a ticket. The event link is in my bio also and is right here. You can remember that, workonyourgame.live. And when you type it in, you might need to use the HTTP because sometimes it doesn't recognize the .live, depending on the kind of browser you're using. Yasmin the Nubian, what's going on? You're reading The Mirror of Motivation? Shout out to everybody who has or is reading The Mirror of Motivation. I like that book because you can open that book up to any page, any day, and get some valuable game that you could use that day. Appreciate you, Yasmin. Deal Fitness says, been dropping gems since I was a shorty in high school back in 2008. That's a fact. I appreciate you. RTO says, where can I find a place where you talk about discipline? Well, I'm talking about it right now, but also you get my book called The Mirror of Motivation, RTO. I got the book right here. You see the subtitle? The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. So this is the best place to start, RTO, right here. Get this book by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. I'm going to post it in the comments so that you have a link. Mirrorofmotivation.com, RTO. That's where you can go and hear me talk about discipline. Well, you're not going to hear me. You can read me talk about discipline. And also, RTO, I have a podcast. I call my show a masterclass, but most people call it a podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. You know how to find podcasts, right? So you got Spotify or Apple. Just look up Work on Your Game. That's the name of the show. It's called Work on Your Game. It comes out every single day. So you can listen to it. We got almost 2,000 episodes of the show every single day. And it's just me talking. So if you like this is a good preview of what my podcast is like, but it's just audio. So you can listen to it while you're working out, while you're driving, all of that. And again, that's Work on Your Game is the name of the podcast. This book is called Mirror of Motivation. Get it at mirrorofmotivation.com. I'll give you the book free. Just cover the shipping. That's all we ask. Deal Fitness, I appreciate you. Said from literally teaching basketball to overall life progression and development. That's a fact. You got it right. That's exactly what I'm doing. Deal, you should come to Work on Your Game live. I don't know if you knew about it, but you should come. Anthony Aguilar said, respect the mindset, remind me of the Kobe mentality. Kobe got it from me. Shout out to Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. James says, this relates more to basketball, but how do I train as efficiently as possible to get better, faster overall? Well, you got to come up with a strategy, James. You need a strategy for how you train. If you have a plan and a strategy, then you'll be efficient. But if you don't have a plan, then it's going to be hard to create efficiency. I would suggest you go to hoophandbook.com. That's my basketball training website. I don't know if you know about it. Hopefully you do. Hoophandbook.com. That's where I have my training programs. Those are the same workouts that I did when I was playing. And I was able to get efficient with my workouts because I knew exactly what I was doing every day when I got to the gym. I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew when to start, and I knew when to stop. It was a big thing that a lot of young players don't understand, when to stop training. But if you don't have a plan, then you never know. So hoophandbook.com, James. That'll help you out. Deal Fitness says, I'm in Chicago, was in Miami. Yes, but the event's not until August. So between now and August, you can get to Miami, right? We talking, there's another, almost 5-6 weeks. So tomorrow's the last day to get a ticket, Deal, but the event is not until August. And then my event manager, Charlene, she'll help you out. You got any questions about logistics and travel and all that, that's at workonyourgame.live. But tomorrow's the last day to get a ticket. So if you're coming, tomorrow's your last day to get in. All right, so I just answered all the questions. I'm going to tell you one more time about this book. This is my newest book. It's called The Third Day, The Decision That Separates the Pros from the Amateurs. This is the hardcover book. We got paperback book right here. I got a stack of them sitting right here. You can get the hardcover or the paperback. The book's free. All you do is cover the shipping. Is at thirddaybook.com. And what this book is about, this is the next step after Mirror Motivation. After you read this is the next step. This book is about what do you do when you have one of those days? You know, those long days at work or long days at school or long days in the gym when you're not really excited about being there, but you still have to do it. You still have to do the work. This book is about what do you do in those situations? Because those of you who don't know, when you're a professional at what you do and you have one of those days, you can't half-ass that day. You can't not show up. You can't go through the motions because if you do, you might not have a job the next day. And I know this from being a pro athlete. If you don't show up and go hard and practice, you might not be on the team the next day. So that's why this book is really about, it's not about sports. This book is about the mindset. It's about the mentality and the decisions that you make when you're not feeling like doing the work and how you can set yourself up to have momentum so that if you ever have one of those days, it's not hard for you. It's not a drag for you. It actually becomes easy for you. That's all based on this mindset called The Third Day. You can get this book for free by going to thirddaybook.com. I'll talk about this book a lot more after we finish setting up Work on Your Game Live. Tomorrow's the last day to get a ticket, so I won't be talking about that event as much after tomorrow, but we're going to keep talking about that till tomorrow and make sure we get everybody in who's going to be coming to Miami for Work on Your Game Live. So everybody answered all the questions. It is like 10:40 a.m. I'm going to add this to my IGTV, so if you didn't catch everything I said or you want to watch it again, I'm going to put it on my IGTV. I'm going to also put this video on YouTube. It'll be like a week or so before this goes up on YouTube, but it will be on my YouTube channel. Just look my name up, Dre Baldwin on YouTube. It'll be on there. Savage Fitness was good. You coming to Work on Your Game Live? I know you asked about it, so if you come in, make sure you get your ticket by tomorrow. This video is going to be on YouTube. And yeah, if you're not on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube because I put the podcast episodes, they go on YouTube by video. And then sometimes I make videos that's not this and it's not podcast, but it's just videos that I make randomly. I'm about to record one right now, as a matter of fact. I'll put those on YouTube as well. I mean, y'all know what YouTube is. YouTube was out before Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, you know about YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. I put videos up there. Every single day we put a new video on YouTube. And that's that. I don't think I need to say anything else. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know where I'm at. I'm on Instagram stories all day. So if y'all want to see my day-to-day and what I'm doing over the course of an entire day, every day, Instagram stories is where I'm the most active. My text line is in my bio, so you can text me there. I got so many things. I mean, I don't want to tell you everything because I'm going to confuse you. But if you just follow me, you'll hear about everything eventually. So Work on Your Game Live is the most important thing. I'm going to just keep talking about that. Let's just focus on that. WorkOnYourGame.live is that site. Tomorrow's the last day to get your ticket. I'm going to do another live tomorrow, same time, same place here on Instagram. Everybody have a great Wednesday. Work on your game. We out here. Dre all day.